Welcome back to the channel. All right, we're going to update the best relics tier list. I know that we're heading into the month of August when the StatCast will be coming in. This is going to be purely focused on the Battlecast relics. When they're already currently residing in the game, we know that exceptionally well. And also, there's a big difference between the Battlecast, which is what we're going over today, and the StatCast. And it's great. I actually think this is phenomenal for the game. And it's done a couple of things. One, we're going to have more relics. We can put them on. We don't need to worry about getting into a quest with strikers and all that stuff. That's great. But also, these Battlecast relics, in my opinion, have become even more premium. You really want them on the champions. They really modify the abilities. I think that's part of why Kabam has decided to go to the StatCast focus, which is going to increase the stats here and there. Don't get me wrong. That's also going to be great. But as we're going to show you today, and we reflected this in the tier list, of course, you really want those Battlecasts on those premium champions where it's modifying their abilities, because that's where you're going to see the massive, massive benefit that, like, Kabam's not going to say it, but in my opinion, it is pretty clear. They were so strong, they decided we can't make any more of these. So let's take advantage of the ones we have, right? Let's do that. All right, here we go. So we've got the spreadsheet on. Make sure you take a look at it. You download it, you make a copy. If you're interested, you can go to sort by champion. It's now going to show you just by champion as well. The spreadsheet wizards, you know these guys. They're just excellence all over the place. If no one's listed, like Dr. Voodoo, Voodoo's getting buffed. We don't know the whole buff as of right now. Dormammu and those sorts of things. What that means is probably going to go ahead and use a StatCast. If you don't have one, you can probably just put on any relic. You're going to benefit from the striker, okay? So the champion we're going to quickly talk about, or kind of the relic pairing here, is going to be Kushala with Scarlet Witch. The Scarlet Witch relic, it is nowhere near as strong as the Thor and Hulk, okay? So when you hear me compare it to it, don't think it's as strong, but it's one of those ones where it benefits almost the whole class. If you're expecting the Mystic Dispersion, you're going to get a nice benefit, and it's solid. I particularly have it into my Kushala because I like to benefit from the regeneration that comes from it. It's from the blessings and activating them, so it's really strong for Mystics in general. And then your sorcerers, if you look at it, get a really nice benefit, or if someone's getting massive power gain like Werewolf by Night. But as you can see by the emoji we have on there with the broken heart, pretty much use any relic. This champion is that good. I think Werewolf by Night is probably going to be a perfect example of a champion where you're probably going to ultimately put a StatCast on them because you're using your premium Battlecast relics elsewhere. Let's go ahead and look at the next class here in Cosmic. Don't worry, I will scroll down. Hyperion is the one we're going to talk about today with the pairing with Gamora, because I think it's probably very interesting, and it's been called out by some of the Illuminati. Hey, this looks a little odd. Is this accurate? And for our purposes, for the formatting, the information we're trying to get out, it is. The Gamora relic's not that great, comparatively, especially to the Thor relic. You can put it on Serpent, Hercules, any of these champions we've got, right? You can do it, and you're going to get a nice little benefit. It's going to benefit your Furies, and a lot of them are getting Furies and that sort of thing. But what it's really doing, and it has three named champions, being King Groot, Gamora, and Hyperion. Gamora and Hyperion are probably better champions to begin with, and then they get these flat increases for their Furies that like didn't happen. It's part of why Hyperion is still so great in this game. He's also just a great champion, but this is helping him out significantly. It's also phenomenal for Gamora, so you can look at that too, getting her Furies, keeping her Furies, making the Furies more potent, and that sort of thing. But it's not great for helping out the rest of these champions. I'm very confident in the idea that the StatCast will actually end up being better for them over the long haul, and that's what we're reflecting. As we move down, the Miss Marvel relic, it's just not that good of a relic. It just isn't. It's one of the Battlecast ones that just isn't as powerful, and you know, it is what it is. We can talk about that in another video. It is very good for Nova, though. If you run Nova, maybe you should stick it on there. It can be very, very helpful. And then the one I said we would talk about, well, we're going to talk about a couple here, is Thor. This is the first one. We're going to talk about this similarly when we hit the Hulk relic. It is so generically good for this class because of what it's doing when you just get Furies. The difference, it's for me, is a noticeable difference. When I run my Medusa, I have a 7-star rank 3 Medusa, when I run her with the Thor relic and without it. Similarly for Deathless Thanos, Hulkling, and Cosmic Ghost Rider. Even if I go into like the Gamora relic, the Gamora relic, right? Yeah, the Gamora relic or something like that, it is noticeable how much better they get. There's extreme competition for the Thor relic, as you see by this. What I would suggest is take a look at it and see if you're getting Furies. Then put it on your champions you enjoy playing the most, because you get a massive, massive, massive massive benefit. Okay, and this is like the prime example of the Battlecast and why I think Kabam has stopped making them, because to make them desirable, they needed to be this good, and they are this good, and maybe that's a problem for what they want to do in the game. It's really fun. I enjoy it. And then so on the Venom side, you've heard me talk at length about the transformative property of some relics. This is it. Like, you were literally talking about Venom. You're going to talk about it with Guardian. It's just massive. What you can do, get a 7-star relic, get the 7-star Venom relic. It's like flat increases once a single bleed is landed, and then the bleed potency gets going. It's ridiculous. It's redonkulous. I've done videos on it. Hopefully you've seen them or enjoyed it for yourself. Now let's go ahead and take a look at tech. You can see this is a lot more simple, a little more like everything's a little more balanced. There's no, outside of Hulkbuster with Guardian, there's really no relic that's just like transformative or like great for the whole class. Okay, much like the tech class, it's a bit more balanced. There's less like outrageous craziness. Dark Spider-Man, Guardian, as I've been showing, but the champions are really great for the game. A lot of fun, right? Okay, so Green Goblin with Shocker. Now I know some of you are like, what's going on there? What the Green Goblin relic does, just on its face, like in the beginning, is it's lowering the cost of a special. And so champions where that's incredibly helpful, like Future Ant-Man has it built into his kit where you can throw the SB1 when he's got multiple bars of power. Shocker has it in there in his signature ability, right? Being able to throw your special one for a significantly reduced cost. So if you can activate the Striker and get into your loop faster, get to those big special twos that damage faster, it's a big deal. As you can see, we even got Spider-Man up there, even though we also have the Broken Heart relic. Because Spider-Man's OP and it's awesome. As we go through, you can see with Guardian, I will have a Guardian showcase coming out the day after this video goes live. I'm also aware that this video tends to be one that people watch over a long period of time. It's not one that like takes off immediately. It's just people going like, oh, I got a relic. I want to see what's going on. Check out my Guardian video to see, like, he is similar to Venom, where it is transformative. They're very good champions without it, but gosh, with it, they are amazing and it's awesome and it's really cool stuff. If you don't have a Guardian, you can put it on champions who are doing shock damage. I love it for Red Skull and I love it for Shuri as well. And then of course you see Sentinel there too. And don't sleep on the Hulkbuster relic with Hulkbuster. Hulkbuster's a blast. I said we talk about this with Bastion. This is one of the other champions where that's specifically called out in the champions kit. Any relic, any star variety relic of this Sentinel relic, basically, okay? You get what I'm trying to say. Will provide the same benefit. It's just, it is helpful to do the highest variety of it because you're going to get your spirit, which is basically, if you think of like the power bar for your relic, you're going to get that faster. You're going to be able to use your Striker more often. Okay. So when you're thinking that through though, if you have Bastion, Sentinel, and Prowler, maybe you want to run the lower variety, star variety version of the Sentinel relic on your Bastion if you're just really trying to make a decision and split some hairs there. And then we have Omega Sentinel and Vision. And huge shout out to Simula coming through and really telling me, because the initial version I presented, we were a little low on some of these champions, and he plays them and he knows them very well. And he's like, hey, I think you should move them up. I think you're missing a few things. And he was right. I really appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Mutant class. You can see Gentle and Dust. I think this is the first time we're seeing this specific emoji called out. So I want to make sure I mention it. It's the higher rarity relic is preferred. And that's because the relic itself, basically it's increasing the crit chance, okay? Or something else. And what it's doing, it's not only going to give you the spirit gauge faster, which we've talked about with the other champions with the horse emoji, but in this one, you actually won't see the benefit on your higher level champions. So like your 6-star 7 level champions already come with a certain crit rate and you're speccing into that. You won't see the benefit from the relic unless you're running the higher version of the relic. So that's what that emoji is about, and that's why that's called out there. The champion we will quickly talk about today is actually going to be with the Wolverine relic. This is not an amazing relic. It's good for Wolverine Weapon X. I've done a lot of Wolverine Weapon X videos. I've shown this to you so you can see it. But the Deadpool Weapon X-Force, since it's thanks to Adamantium, he's really calling out that, like, hey, listen, with Deadpool X-Force, it's very often about getting your special 2, throwing that, going into your special 1. Being able to utilize your Striker to make that loop more simple or simplified or quicker or more efficient is very, very, very helpful. So it's less about how great the general relic is for you and more about you want that spirit gauge coming faster. And he's right. Like in the current Gladiator Circuit meta, a rank 3 Deadpool Weapon X-Force can take out a rank 4 Yelena Belova. Being able to utilize my Striker to get through the loop faster because he often comes up just a hair short. So being able to get to that second SB1 more quickly is really, really helpful. So that's a great call out from him, and I appreciate that. The Storm Relic, you can think of this similar to some of the other relics we talked about, where like it's generically good for the class. There's a lot of benefit, but there's no champion that's like transformative from or gets a huge benefit where we really felt you got to put it in the tier above all. Okay, but it's a very good relic for a variety of great champions. I really like the relic. It felt weird to not have one in the tier above all, but when I really sat down and thought about it, I was like, yeah, none of these champions really get the same benefit as the other ones, that sort of thing. I think you understand the thought process there. We'll move to the skill class. Another one's a little more simple, a little more direct, right? You have the Black Panther relic. Again, shout out to Simula for mentioning, reminding us, hey, look, Elena Belova does get those crits in her elimination mode. That's what the Black Panther relic is about, those guaranteed crits or any crits in general. So we got to reflect that. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. The Black Widow relic, I've done a ton of videos on Crossbones. He is an amazing, amazing champion. And he might be slightly coming off his perch, is in my opinion, the best skill champion. That's okay. It's a great sign. That means that there's more great skill champions coming out, not that he's becoming bad, okay? He's still in that top 3, 4, 5, or what have you, just how you're playing the game. The Black Widow relic is exceptionally helpful to him, not only in getting the ability accuracy reduction going quicker, more fast, and powering up from it, but also the ability to utilize a striker helps with his loop. His loop can be difficult and challenging. I know I mess it up a lot. So having a higher ranked variety relic that's going to get its spirit gauge more quickly, that I can use the striker for more pauses for my heavies, is incredibly, incredibly helpful for a champion like Crossbones. And then for Black Cat, it took a champion who was pretty good, and then it just played into what she does so well that she's now become an amazing champion, shutting stuff down early. Like, it's borderline transformative for her. I just don't think she's reaching the highs of Venom and Guardian, even with a relic that feels very clearly designed to like kind of fix her flaws. So that is the skill class. And now we will move on to science. And I want to be very clear about a couple of things here. The Hulk relic could go on almost any single science champion, as long as they weren't doing physical damage and they're playing debuffs, okay? But that's kind of the science class. And so the last tier of the Hulk relic could be literally the whole page, or figuratively, you guys know what I mean. So keep that in mind. This Hulk relic is very much like the Thor relic, where if any champion is relying on physical damage of placing debuffs, they're going to see a massive benefit. And so the Hulk relic is in incredibly high demand. I currently can't even place all the Hulk relics that I want to. I have the Spider 2099 relic on my Overseer. It bothers me, but it is what it is. I had to make choices. Okay, and Overseer is a phenomenal champion. Spider-Man 2099, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Campo, an insanely smart player, has actually said in his Spider-Man 2099 video, and I went and I checked in with him, he's like, I actually think the Hulk relic is generically better for Spider-Man 2099 than the Spider-Man 2099 relic is. And that has to do with how much extra damage you're able to get from the physical vulnerability, from the debuffs, due to the Hulk relic, okay? So keep that in mind. The Spider-Man 2099 relic is very good, and it's beneficial to the champions that are on there. However, in a generic situation where you're not looking for like that immunity to the dex buff or anything like that, Hulk relic is going to be superior for those champions. It's wild, but again, this is, I think, an example of why Kabama's like, we are not making any more of these. So let's enjoy them while we've got them, right? And then last one we'll talk about is Spider-Woman, phenomenal champion, okay? Guys, I get it. And this relic is great for her. Not only does it help out with power stings, even puts on a power sting, but getting that taunt, I think, is really helpful as I continue to play her more, investigate her more, so I can get out analysis and videos on her. Also, I enjoy the heck out of it. She's phenomenal. Having that taunt off the striker has been incredibly helpful to ensuring that the defender throws that special when I want them to throw it. That's the kind of benefit that is absolutely massive to a champion. So there you go. That is the Battlecast. When the StatCast come out, myself, the Illuminati, and the Spreadsheet Wizards, we're going to evaluate how we can either put them into this spreadsheet, maybe make our own separate spreadsheet, because these are different. They're all relics, but they are different, and we will continue to update this one every couple of months as champions come in, as kits come in, as we discover new things. And I'm just going to tease this now. Adamantium has discovered something pretty wild for a champion that you love. I just need to test it more and get that going, but we did reflect it on this tier list, so hopefully you saw it and you found it. And we will continue to do that, because these relics, I feel strongly, will continue to say a super premium item that we really are going to find ourselves wanting to rank up, because they are often going to modify very strong abilities for some of our favorite champions. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.